Michelle to Inspire Network. Great to see you here.
Good to see you, Conrad, again. Even though it's virtually and not in person.
Definitely. Virtual is real nowadays, so we have to live with that. It was very inspiring to hear your story as an international educator and also a business owner for over 24 years. Yeah. Yes. And the motivation you have all the time to make sure that everything is done in place. Would you tell us a little bit how did it come about? How is it so far going on?
I mean, really, it's funny how life turns out. I started my life straight after school in medical sciences. This still is my love today, although I'm getting close to retirement. I had my first job in England, working in the medical laboratories at a top university hospital, and decided that now I was qualified, I wanted to have a house. And this was my first challenge. As a woman, I was only allowed 2.5 times my salary to get a mortgage. But if I was a guy, I could have 3 times my salary. But as a woman, if I got engaged to a guy to get married, they would give me 5 times my salary.
Oh.
Well, I'm not having any of this, so how else can I get the money? And I decided that as a medical scientist, there was big money in the Middle East. And so I went to Saudi Arabia, a couple of years in Saudi Arabia. And that was a real wake-up call. I'm very embarrassed to say that I was quite a racist before I went to Saudi Arabia, and I didn't realize I was. I got to Saudi, and I was working in a team in the laboratory, mainly Sudanese, and I considered myself to be better than them because I had a London degree from a British university and villages in Khartoum and Sudan. And it was a big wake-up call when we got our first case of malaria in the laboratory, and and then the Sudanese guy who had never been outside the village said to me, "But what type of malaria is it, Michelle?" And that's when I realised he had a lot more knowledge than I did.
That's right.
And that was my first wake-up call. Of course, living in Saudi Arabia as well, as a single woman under the Quran, I learned the Quran very well. And I understood then some of their laws, and I know from the outside some of their laws look quite outrageous. In many ways, it's actually to protect the women because they consider women to be close to God. So when you look at it from that perspective, you get a more positive feeling. So instead of being told, "Michelle, you're not allowed to drive," it's, "Michelle, we don't want you to drive because it's so dangerous, so we will provide you a driver." You don't have the responsibility if there's an accident. But you in that way, then it's not so bad not being allowed to drive. And there were things, that really changed me. I ended up staying there for 5 years. And then I went to Jordan for 3 years. And that time in the Middle East where I learned that the role of the woman was seen in a very different way than in the UK, but we were still second. That kind of made me grow up a lot and mature a lot and realise I had so much to learn from other cultures.
Right.
So that was my basically the start of my life. It's a very basis in medical sciences.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, please. But this is already very inspirational, and thank you very much. And I'm sure maybe in the future we can also discuss a little bit more about the happiness element and the lucky element in doing things, on how can a person achieve those. It will be really, really fantastic to learn more and more, and of course to educate other people who are watching these clips.
It's important to be happy.
Definitely.
And I look forward to talking to you again, Conrad, and it's been my pleasure. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Michelle.